I believe I'm now joined with JR right here, right now. What's going on, man?
Man, what is going on?
I'm
Glad
good.
to be here.
I'm good, man. Thank you for calling in on Triple Threat Wrestling Radio 6 minutes early, man.
Man, glad to be here. Thank you.
That's awesome. Let's go ahead and begin. You got some shows you want to promote. You gave me a bio, and I appreciate that. Um, so JR, what made you decide to uh be a wrestler? How did that came about for you?
Man, of course, I guess the story follows kind of like every other wrestler that's out there that's independent or even in the big times. Of course, you started loving it when you were a kid, watching it on TV and everything. And I was a big, huge fan that was inspired by the Mid-South Coliseum days. Jerry Lawler, Bill Dundee, and then I started, watching the whole era, the Stone Cold era, the Attitude era, I guess you could say. Um, I guess from there, I guess my love for the sport just grew even more, and then I kind of sat back on the couch. I was like, man, I want to do this, and my parents, of course, when I told my parents about it, of course, they were laughing. They're like, are you serious? I'm like, yeah. So I guess I put a little bit more initiative into it. And they're like, okay, well, if you're gonna, I guess you could say take a step forward, we're gonna get you professionally trained. So that's kind of the heart and soul and the battlegrounds of the start of Jerry Mauler 24/7.
And you mentioned when you was getting into wrestling, family members and friends were like laughing and stuff. I'm sure they have a different change. They have changed their tune now that you have now become a wrestler and you've been on as long as you have. I mean, how's their
Right,
how's their tone been now that you took it seriously and you are where you are today?
right. And well, yes, I mean I totally agree. Right when I first, told my family and friends and everything, they're like, wow, really? You being serious? Now it's to where I can kind of sit back and my family and my friends are proud of what I've accomplished so far in the business and still still taking the strides and pushing forward into it. And they love it. They support me 110%. So it's great to have that feedback and that push. So it's really good.
So JR, a lot of people remember their first time, especially in the wrestling business, their first wrestling match. That being said, do you remember your first wrestling match that you had, and if so, who was your opponent and what company did you work for at the time?
Sure. At that time, back in 1999, we wrestled at Corinth at Corinth, Mississippi, at the American Legion building. At that time, man, the American Legion building was hot. I wrestled a guy. Actually, he was one of my best friends. His name was Al Capone. He didn't stay in the business, for long, but anyhow, his actual shoot name's Joe. And man, we rehearsed. We went through everything. It was great. I loved it. The fans' perspective on it, they loved it. I guess. I mean, it was my first match. I was a green horse at the time. I mean, I thought I did great. Of course, there was mistakes, and all that's more or less a learning lesson. It still is even today. Stepping foot in the ring every single time I get a chance. But that let's see, the company. I'm trying to remember. I think it was RWF at the time. It stood for Real Wrestling Federation. And at that time, the person who got me and broke me in the business and kind of took me underneath their wing, which is Steel. A lot of people have heat with Steel on many things, but also they have a lot of respect for him for what he's done. RWF ventured off from Fourth Mississippi and then started actually competing against Memphis Wrestling, which we were at the Raw Spring Ball, and we did Fox 13, TV tapings. It just kind of grew from there.
So, what was it like to be trained by the Warlord and Steel? What was that experience like?
Terry, man, Terry was a good guy. He didn't do much in the ring. He was more, I mean, due to the fact of his neck injury and everything at the time, and it's still even today. Terry was actually pretty much standing on the side going, brother, you did that wrong, you know, he barely even turned his neck. A good laughs. But Steel was more or less the person who got in the ring and, you know, showed us ropes. And, you know, they were both good guys. Even still today, I try to, you know, talk to them, touch them base to base. Me and Terry kind of lost in contact. But still, on the other hand, we still keep in contact. And, man, it's just, I'm glad to be where I'm at and just loving of, you know, much respect to the guys who actually broke me in the business.
Throughout your wrestling career, you have had a chance to work with some well-known names with the likes of Bill Dundee, AJ Styles, Brian Christopher, Jerry Lawler, the late Coco Beware, Billy Gunn, Big Daddy V, excuse me, Rock and Roll Express, Chase Stevens, James Storm, just to name more than a few. And some of the wrestlers you have faced, whether they were in their indie stage of their careers or they were just been in and out with the companies, what was it like having an opportunity to work with these guys?
Man, I tell you what, it is my honor. I mean, I'm so grateful for, you know, the guys that I'm able to work with and to, you know, be I guess you could say being, you know, another boys in the back, I guess. It's a real honor to work with these guys and actually gain so much knowledge off of them. You know, much respect because these guys, you know, helped pave the road for what it is, you know, for what real wrestling is. And I guess you could say from the Memphis era of wrestling to the, I guess you say the entertainment of WWE was. These guys actually, you know, have shoveled me the ropes every single time I get in the ring with these guys or be with them any chance I can get. I mean, these are some wonderful, wonderful people, and I hope to still do and continue doing business with them.
Of all the guys, you know, that I've mentioned, or for those that I may not have been able to mention, who was the person that was your toughest opponent? Who was the one that really pushed you to the limit?
Let's see. I'll have to go down to the whole list to actually think on this one. You're talking about as far as just ring ability itself?
Yeah, ring ability. Yeah.
Oh man, probably hands down, probably AJ Styles. When I wrestled him in Nashville, man, I thought I was in good shape then. I was really wrong. He blew me up really quick, and he you know, he is phenomenal. I mean, even what he does, and you know, in the ring and out of the ring. You know, I'm glad to, you know, see where he's at. I hope he continues with TNA and with Dixie Carter. You know, I know the whole contract thing's up, but I hope things continue and works well with him. But AJ's the one who actually really, really pushed me in the ring.
I was wondering, you know, with AJ Styles and all, did you by any chance heard the promo he did last night on Impact when he said, "I'm better than the best, than the world. I'm the phenomenal AJ Styles," and I guess people was thinking that he may have took a shot at CM Punk. Did you by any chance heard that by any chance?
Well, you know what? Believe it or not, I mean, he could have, and that's going to be my honest opinion. He could have, just to see what people are going to start talking about. I mean, if people were going to start talking, it's just like, you know, when AJ, I don't know if you know, but he posted on, you know, I think it's Facebook or Twitter, you know, that's what I've heard, that he said, you know, hey, do I need to re-sign with TNA or do I need to go into the independents? man, that put a lot of word out there really quick. People scratching their heads, going, man, go independence. Because I understand where he's at, and politics and everything else is kind of put a little bit of a weight on him. But that's just kind of how business goes. But yeah, uh, oof, yeah, he's in a tough predicament. To CM Punk, I mean, everybody has that initiative. They all want to be best in the world. CM Punk just made a pretty much a slogan out for it.
Yeah, pretty much. And they both are talented wrestlers, and I get it. In wrestling, when wrestlers do the promos, they be in character. But then I guess when someone says something in reference to someone from another company, I mean that's gonna get people really buzzing. I guess so. I don't, you know, AJ to me has been the heart and soul of TNA since day one. And even though you got wrestlers from the other companies getting into TNA, I mean, people, and maybe I feel like he's been taking a back seat because of wrestlers from the other companies trying to go in and earn main event status. I mean, this is the guy, with Daniels and a couple other people and Jarrett, list to name a few. They built TNA from the ground up when people didn't think that company was going to be there for long.
You know what? I totally agree with you. And when I worked with AJ, it was based out of Nashville. That's where TNA started playing its big part and started doing the pay-per-view thing. And Jarrett was there, and so I mean, yeah, from the ground up. I mean, those guys were there since day one. And my honest opinion, I honestly think if the payroll, the PO, Dixie Carter can't pay the guys, I know that they're behind, but I think she needs to kind of swipe the overhead a little bit. And what I mean by that is, Hulk Hogan. I mean, what does he bring into the table to TNA? Honestly, I mean, he's really not doing anything. I mean, I understand he's part of the storylines and all that, but the money that Dixie is paying that guy, I mean, she could be paying the boys that have actually been there since day one and probably do a hell of a lot better and make more of a rating than actually having Hogan there, what their ratings are now, my honest opinion.
You know what? I definitely agree with you. And what makes it even worse is that of over the last several weeks, TNA has let go some people, and yet you bring in MMA fighters like Rampage and Tito Ortiz, and you already got King Mo. I mean, no offense to those guys, but you let go of the actual wrestlers for mixed martial arts fighters, knowing that they have to train. Mixed martial arts and professional wrestling are two complete different things.
Right, and I totally agree with you. And like I said, it all boils down to the politics side on that. Because if I'm not mistaken, Spike TV, and that's what TNA's on, if I'm not mistaken. I haven't seen it in a while, but Spike TV, their contract's actually coming up. So I think they're trying to do the whole MMA, sponsorship wrestling, trying to intertwine them because, some of the MMA stuff isn't really, going out to be what it is. So they're trying to, I guess you said, build together and work together. I don't know. I've got mixed feelings on the whole MMA and the wrestling deal, but, hey, it's what athletes are, right?
Oh, absolutely, man. And as far as Hulk Hogan getting paid more than people that actually wrestle, I mean, to me that's a joke and a half. I mean, no disrespect to Hogan, but this ain't the 1980s when he was at his prime. I mean,
Right.
It's time to focus more on the guys that's been there for a lengthy time. And look, if Hogan wants to maybe be a mentor, that's one thing, but if he's not going to do more than just being the general manager, then maybe that money should be focused more on building new talent, or that money should be focused on just basically the people that's been there the longest. At least I'll leave it at that. I hear that you got some upcoming shows, mostly in the Tennessee area and the Mississippi area. So why don't you go ahead and promote your upcoming shows that you're gonna be a part of?
Sure, September 6th, which will be this coming up Friday, I'll be helping out with TCW in Nashville. TCW's doing well. I know you probably heard of them. They're just a independent organization that is growing. Extreme Horse Wrestling still lives. So like I said, that's a slogan. They September 13th, proud to be a part of the Memphis Pro Wrestling. Being a tag team partner, Cross, which 24/7, will be there. AAW in Union, Tennessee. You can check them out every Friday night. Let's see. Also, September 6th. I know I'm not going to be there, but I told them I still promote them. SGWA in South Haven, Mississippi. Usually they're running around once a month in the northern part of Mississippi area. So if you're around the area, check it out. And also EPW in Louisville, Mississippi. And also the MLOW, which is the Magnificent Ladies of Wrestling. They're going to start doing men's customs in November. So I want to be a part of that. So got big things in the hat, and hopefully get many more things and keep on pushing forward.
That's definitely that's awesome, man. So everybody, if you're in the Tennessee and Mississippi areas, go check them shows off. Check them out, I should say, and support your local indie pro wrestling near you. Support them as much as you can. Flyers, being at the show, be the word of mouth. Do what you got to do. And you know the Magnificent Ladies Wrestling. I've been a fan of them for many years, and from my understanding, like you just pointed out, they're gonna be doing customs for male wrestlers, so that should be interesting.
Very, very well.
So let me ask you this: you've been
Sure.
in a wrestling for quite some time now. What advice would you give to anyone that wants to get into the wrestling business?
Well, one, you pretty much gotta either go head deep or pretty much just don't even touch the surface. The reason I'm saying that is because man, you've got to be serious. It's a job. You're your own person, your own managing. You got to get out there and network, and you got to know people in order to better yourself in the business. And always keep an open minded. 1 second, if you close it, you just need to get out of the business all itself. Keep open minded and take criticism for what it is, and learn from your mistakes.
That's definitely very important. Take criticism because we all know that you gotta have thick skin. That's going to be fans. There's going to be politics. That's always going to be the quote unquote marks. That's going to always going to have something to say, and you just gotta focus on you. You gotta focus on the task at hand. You can't let all the bickering get to you. You just gotta do what's best for you and for the company that you work for.
100% correct. 100% correct, gang.
So, Jr., my last question for you is, how can people learn more from you, get in touch with you, social media wise, Facebook, Twitter, websites, any other links people need to know?
Sure, you can check me out on Twitter and get the latest information. Mauler, Mauler 247. That's my Twitter account. Where if you're on there and you add me as a fan, of course, I've got my Facebook fan page, Jared Mauler, linked up to it, so you can get all the latest and greatest information and bookings on it. I try to keep it up to date, at least try to post on there more than 5 to 10 times a day. So, yeah, if you can, just check it out. And as far as promoters wanting to book 24/7, you can also contact us on either Twitter or Facebook itself.
Well, Jr. I want to thank you for being on the show this evening. Great chatting with you. Everybody, again, check out the shows, Mississippi and the Tennessee areas here. Keep y'all active on that, on the Facebook and Twitter links. Again, thank you for being on the show, JR. Best of success goes out to you.
Kenny, thank you so much. Best of luck to your radio, and hope to see everybody soon.
You bet, man. You have a good night.
You too. Thank you.
All right, bye-bye. That was J.R. Mauler joining me here this evening on Triple Threat Wrestling Radio.